Skirt.
Where the hell are my fruit snacks? Nah, shit, I'm recording.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Bullsack's back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about creating your very own jutsu, your signature move in the Naruto RPG, tabletop RPG that I'm creating. For those of you that don't know, jutsus are essentially spells that ninjas can cast, like you can see in the video right now. There's 5 different elements. There you have wind, water, or 5 basic elements: wind, water, earth, lightning, and fire. And we'll be getting more into that later in the video. And so, obviously Naruto is an anime, and throughout this anime, you hear about people who create like their own signature jutsu, or like Tobirama, for instance, was known for creating several jutsu that were utilized throughout the show. And they never really discussed how creating the jutsu worked, like how they use their chakra. Like there's a reanimation jutsu to bring back people from the dead and like have control over them, like during this war arc. And there's no explanation of how how you go about practicing doing that and getting it to work. And so I studied the show, at least the original Naruto. I didn't really get much into Shippuden yet, but it is a work in progress. I think I did a good job of following the rules of Naruto, and the rules that I came up with don't conflict with what goes on in the show. Like I have it set up to where I can watch an episode, like a fight of Naruto, and I can be like, oh, this is the rule that's being implemented right now for my tabletop RPG, and I don't think I've really recognized any conflictions. So, for those of you that don't know, like I said, there's 5 basic chakra natures. You have earth, fire, wind, water, and lightning. And typically in the show, how it works is you're born with one of these chakra natures. In my RPG, when you create a character, you'll be able to choose 2 chakra natures. Obviously, that rule can be altered depending on who's running the game. But rules as written is 2 chakra natures. But for this video, I want you to choose one of these 5 chakra natures, and that'll be the element for your signature jutsu. Alright, and now, from what I've noticed in the show, like I said, I've been studying it, there are 4 types of jutsu. You have melee jutsu, like Chidori or Rasengan. You have ranged jutsu, like, fireball jutsu. That's just a basic attack from a range. There's defensive jutsu, which, like rock wall, like basically it's used to protect yourself. It's used in your surrounding area to protect yourself from other attacks. And then the 4th one, which I thought was interesting, is animated jutsu. And for those of you that are wondering what that is, those are jutsu like Kirin, or I don't know what it's called, but when Kakashi does like the lightning dogs, basically they're ranged jutsus that you animate. You give like a life, kind of. You create them, you turn them into like a living creature. And what those are essentially ranged jutsu that are just harder to dodge. They're almost like homing missiles, And so when I look at Sasuke using Kirin against Itachi, I see an animated lightning style jutsu that he used certain enhancements, and we'll be getting into enhancements later, to massively increase the damage of this jutsu. And so he wanted to do one huge attack, undodgeable, and I'll explain it more later in the video. And so I want you guys to choose one of these 4 types of jutsu. I preferably 3, preferably one of the 3 being ranged, melee, and animated. We'll avoid defensive for now because we're kind of doing like an offensive signature move. And then so for the enhanced feature in my RPG, essentially how it works is you have a limited chakra amount based on what your stats are. And you can spend this chakra to cast your jutsu. You want to use a fire style range jutsu, you know, you could flavor it however you want. And then you can enhance the jutsu to make it more of a signature move. So if you want to use an enhancement to increase the damage of your jutsu, then there's an enhancement for that. There's basically increases damage, but at the cost of more chakra, obviously. And, you know, you can stack that if you want to. And so how I picture that is if you have the chakra available, you have giant fireballs like what Itachi's thrown out. You know, you don't, like, remember when Sasuke was at the docks practicing his fire style and it was just garbage. And then you have Itachi, who has this massive chakra reserve at such a young age, and, you know, first try he can do this insane huge fireball. So right now I'm going to go through the list of enhancements that I have. There are going to be 4 basic ones. I mean, at least for the quote-unquote beta of this game. The 4 enhancements for jutsus are going to be to deal increased damage, which, you know, it's basic. You just roll more dice for how much damage you're going to deal. That's going to be called Chakra Overflow. And then next we have Explosive Chakra, which increases the AoE of an attack. Or, if your attack already does AoE, it'll increase the size of the AoE. So, like Itachi, I would say uses Explosive Chakra for his Fireball Jutsu to create a larger one. And then I imagine stacking damage, he would also use Chakra Overflow. These are unofficial names. These are just names I came up with. Due to be changed, but this is what we have right now. And then thirdly, we have Lasting Chakra, which creates hazardous terrain upon impact. So if you use a Fireball Jutsu with Lasting Chakra, you might leave a trail of fire on the ground in an area, and if somebody goes in that area, they'll take damage. Or water style. If you watch my first video, we talked about the specific special effects that each element had, you know. And so if you use Lasting Chakra with a water style attack and you have water as your hazardous terrain, it'll have a slowing effect on anybody within the area, and, you know, so on and so forth. If you haven't checked out the first video, go ahead and it'll explain the other elements and what their special abilities are. And then lastly, we have Aggressive Chakra, and that allows you to multicast jutsu. So, like, the example I like to give for this is Sasuke's Phoenix Flower Jutsu. It's tiny fireballs. I would say, like, a single one of those tiny fireballs is like a basic fire attack, a tiny attack. And then he would multicast it into quote-unquote Phoenix Flower Jutsu, to where he creates, you know, 8 to 10 of these tiny fireball attacks. And there's other examples of it, like where people multicast like Water Dragon Jutsu, or Kisame's Shark Bomb Jutsu, where, you know, sometimes it's one giant shark bomb. That would be, he's increasing the size and damage of it. And then sometimes he creates 3 smaller water sharks, and that's, like, you know, an animated multicast jutsu. And so those are the 4 that we're going to go in for now, and then later on we'll talk with the other techniques that you can use. Like, you can enhance, like, weapon attacks and melee attacks using your chakra, but for now we're just focusing on jutsu, your ninjutsu. And so out of Chakra Overflow, deal bonus damage. Explosive Chakra, add/increase AoE, which, if you're a wind style user, your attacks already have AoE, so it, you know, increase the area of effect there. So for Lasting Chakra, we have hazardous terrain upon impact. Aggressive Chakra, which allows you to multicast jutsu. I would say for a signature move, go ahead and choose 2 of those to go into your element and your style of jutsu, and go ahead and comment what you would call your jutsu, how it would work, how it would look, what what element and what upgrades you put into it, what enhancements. And I'm real curious to see what you guys come up with. And then, so for the last part of this video, I'm going to say create an ultimate jutsu. So you've already chosen an element, a style of jutsu, and 2 enhancements. Now I want you to choose 3 more enhancements for that signature jutsu and create an ultimate jutsu out of that, and then adapt the name to, what would your ultimate jutsu be called, and, tell me how it looks, how it works, just like the previous jutsu. And I really want to see what you guys come up with. I'm going to give an example right now. So let's see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'll go with Earth. I'm going to go with Earth style jutsu. And I'm going to make it an animated type. And so with that, I'm going to create, let's do an Earth Dragon jutsu. All right. So my basic signature move without enhancements is an Earth Dragon that comes out of the ground and, comes in and does bludgeoning damage. And since it's an Earth style, it's going to have knockback. And because it's animated, it's harder to dodge. And so the 2 enhancements I'm going to choose is I'm going to choose to multicast it twice. So my signature move will be 3 Earth Dragons coming out of the ground. And for a name, I'm thinking Earth style. Crap. I'm thinking Earth style, like Hydra Jutsu, or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Let's go with Earth style 3-headed Hydra. I like that. That sounds good. Sounds clean. And then, so for my ultimate jutsu, where I'm adding 3 more enhancements, I'm gonna throw you guys off. I'm gonna do something original. I'm going to multicast 3 more times, and that's gonna be a lot easier to name. And that's gonna be Earth style 6-headed Hydra. And so essentially, 6 Earth Dragons come out of the ground, and you have to dodge 6 attacks that are already hard to dodge because each one is animated. And for each one that hits you, you get knocked 10 feet in a direction. And so he's just getting knocked around the battlefield. I like that. That sounds cool. So that'll be my signature move / ultimate move. And go ahead and comment what you guys want for yours. Hopefully my examples were good enough. I really want to see what you guys come up with. This is actually kind of exciting now that I'm doing this video finally. But that's pretty much where we're going to end the video today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.